to the forefront and show just how talented they are. Hakim Danish, our championship leader, he is very strong and he's been pretty solid all the way through the summer break as well. You mentioned the summer break, Al. He was very busy in the summer break out in the European Talent Cup as well, where he was able to pick up 2 podium finishes. So he's certainly a rider worth keeping an eye on, the number 13.
Make our way through the field then, and we'll take you through the grid in order with Veda Pratama, as we said, the pole sitter on the number 7 bike. Alongside him on the front row of the grid, it is Carter Thompson and the current championship leader Hakim Danish. Veda Pratama then, the form man of the last couple of rounds, 3 podiums and a first race win in that spell. Mastered drying conditions at the Thai Grand Prix and won by an impressive 7-second margin. Championship to prepare the track conditions and to widen up that narrow racing line just a little bit.
Yeah, and it is a very narrow, ideal line around this track. Overtaking is quite treacherous around this circuit this weekend, and certainly for a lot of these riders, they'll know that the key places to try and make a move, turn 1 and turn 10, but we've seen a lot of overtaking into turn 13 and 14 at the end of the lap.
Reminder of your championship standings. It's Hakim Danish who leads the way by 3 points ahead of Shinya Ezawa and Gunmie 35 points back. Your only 3 mathematical contenders, your pole sitter and recent form man, is Veda Pratama. The winner of race 2 of the Thai Grand Prix has been on 3 of the last 4 podiums. Really anyone's race. It's going to be a pack race right from the early stages. Race 10 of the 2022 Asia Talent Cup gets underway. There was a long hold there. Riders now in the drag race down towards turn number 1. Veda Pratama, your pole sitter on the number 7, sweeps across the path of Carter Thompson, defend the race lead in towards turn number 1. Fetasan trying to make progress as they bunch and bore their way through the opening 2 turns. Hakim Danish has survived that successfully. So the top 3 still as they were off the line, with Veda Pratama, the home representative, leading the way on lap 1.
Yeah, Zawa on the number 21 machine are second in the championship standings. He's lost a couple of spots in this opening lap as well for the second row of the grid.
Shinya Ezawa, who started off in P5, has dropped as far as 8th position by the looks of things as they try to go side by side, getting slightly offline in these track conditions, slightly treacherous as we've seen in the 2 World SBK races this afternoon.
And for Gunmie, our 3rd in the standings, he's up there into 9th position now, trying to make some more moves. And you can see Carter Thompson on the number 6 machine in 2nd spot, really putting some pressure on Pratama for the race lead.
Fetasan making another lunge there to the inside of Hakim Danish, but not quite able to find his way through. It's Nicholas who is directly behind, who's the rider who's made progress at the expense of Ezawa, who's just recovered P7 ahead of Ray Wakamatsu. Gunmie, as we've said, climbing from 11th on the grid and into P9. Ray Capfadilla directly behind him, and Hafi in 11th position as we watch the duel now for the top spot as Pratama comes under increasing pressure from Carter Thompson.
Yeah, Thompson's in a hurry to get himself into the race lead here, and you can see in 3rd position now Hakim Danish knows that this is a real opportunity for him as well. He can sense that he can get to himself right to the front as well. So keep an eye on the number 13. He's been very fast in the second half of this lap, but Carter Thompson looks like he's getting bottled up a little bit by Pratama in 2nd.
Hakim Danish keen to succeed where he failed a year ago. He was joint 3rd in the championship coming into the Indonesian round last season and crashed out of race 1 and was withdrawn for the remainder of the weekend through injury. He was a double winner though in the Indonesian Grand Prix round 2 of the Asia Talent Cup all the way back in March, so he knows the fast way around this place, and for the moment holding station in 3rd position.
Yeah, dominated that weekend as well, winning the first race by about 15 seconds, so you don't tend to see too many winning margins like that in the ATC.
It is Veda Pratama, though, who leads for the moment, ahead of Carter Thompson in 2nd. It's Danish in 3rd, Fetasan in 4th, and they are now beginning to break away from Nicholas, the Australian, in 5th position, who's dropped half a second down. So your lead quartet trying to escape away. Yeah,
and those leading 4 are opening up that bit of a gap now. Half a second back to Nicholas and losing more and more time on this lap as well. This isn't a track where the slipstream really comes into it in the same degree as in a lot of other ATC races. If you're looking at somewhere like Sepang with that very long back straight and the front straight as well, it means that the slipstream is really important. Here it's been maintaining that momentum.
The leaders make their way through then turns 11 and 12. Turn 11, we've seen plenty of incidents throughout the weekend. Asia Talent Cup has been pretty clean cut though in terms of incidents through free practice and qualifying practice as well. And hopefully I haven't just put the curse of the commentator on for the remainder of race 1.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of riders running off track this weekend, but not too many actual incidents of crashes, and certainly that's what you hope to see. You want to see good racecraft at the front of the field from all these riders. And I have to say, Pratama right now doing a good job just to hold on to that lead.
Another position gained by Gunmie, important in the context of the championship, of course. Needs to narrow that gap to Hakim Danish and Shinya Ezawa in order to take the fight to the final day as far as he is concerned. Veda Pratama then setting the pace up at the head of the field, ahead of Carter Thompson at the end of lap number 2 by 0.2 of a second. Hakim Danish 0.3 behind the race leader, so only half a second covering your lead quartet. Shinya Ezawa bringing the group back to the lead quartet now, so that gap narrowed to 5th position as well.
Yeah, brave riding from Ezawa on the number 21 machine. He saw Nicholas trying to get down the inside of him into turn 1, but he knew that they'd been losing time in the last lap and a half, so he didn't want to give up that.
Finish still sitting in 3rd, the top 3 as they were, remember, on the grid, but plenty of change further back down the order with Ezawa and Mie, the 2 main championship rivals to Hakim Danish, in championship order at the moment. Liner Stern 3rd to 5th.
Yeah, and for Ezawa, he needs to, well, he's done a good job in this lap to get himself back on terms with Hakim Danish, but he needs to clear him as well. If there's an opportunity to pick up some points, he needs to do it now.
Mie still leading, Fetasan still with them as well in 6th place. That's the group with less than a second between them. Further back down the order, Adaki now is well back from Rizwanto, and he in turn has lost half a second from Fetasan. So it's turned into a 6-rider group at the head of the field. See if Rizwanto can try and make up any of that ground. At the moment, he's around about half a second a lap slower than the riders around him, and that's what's enabling them to break away. And then a separate 3-rider train now has appeared. Adaki, Wakamatsu and Nicholas well clear of Hafi, who's just got through on Fadilla for 11th. So the field beginning to splinter now on lap 7.
Yeah, and in this lead group, Hakim Danish on the number 13, our championship leader, he is the slowest rider in that group. So the other riders have been able to close up onto the back of him, and certainly for Ezawa and Gunmie, they need to clear him now.
As we watch on lap number 7, it's Veda Pratama who leads the way, ever trying to open up that margin, but unable to do so. And of course, inevitably, the slipstream advantage, particularly down your start-finish straight, 723 metres, remember, allows everyone to come back onto his tail. But so far, haven't been able to really strike on Pratama to wrestle that race lead away from him.
He's impressive as well. He's keeping it very time to Pratama now, so this is just a scrap per second.
As you touched on previously, the good news for both Danish and Ezawa is that they're in the same group together, so there's not going to be major points lost or gained by either of them unless there is drama in the closing stages. But it's bad news, I'm afraid, for Gunmie, the number 5, relegated down to 6th position now by Amriz Wanto, and at 3.5 seconds down on the race leader, 2.5 seconds almost down on Carter Thompson in 2nd position, as Thompson's picked off by Hakim Danish back into turn 1 on lap number 10. Mie is now pretty much out of the running. He needs a series of misfortune for his 2 championship rivals ahead of him. Does look like we're going to be down to a 2-rider fight. Another new personal best lap on lap 9 from Veda Pratama, 1 minute 43.660. That gap's opened by another half a second, 1.4 seconds now. Veda Pratama looking in control.
Yeah, the race is run for Pratama unless he makes mistakes, but that can obviously happen as well. A track like this, it's such a narrow line that all it takes is making a mistake into one corner, and that can be catastrophic for you. As you can see though, for Hakim Danish, he's under attack once again from Carter Thompson.
3 abreast once again as they go through turn 10, and lucky not to collect one another. Ezawa on the inside, just backing out of it. Thompson holding station in 3rd, and Hakim Danish in 2nd. So it's a 3-rider scrap here for P2. 1.6 seconds now down on the race leader. Pratama is away and gone, and these 3 scrapping with one another stops them from being able to run the optimum lines, and enables Pratama to escape away.
Yeah, and they've now given up on Pratama. This is just a straight-up brawl to be able to come out with the 20 points per second fight. You see Carter Thompson run on the run through to the tightening right hand, because he's going to get down the inside.
Thompson, of course, the spoiler in this 3-rider group. The other 2 are our championship rivals, as Hakim Danish gets slightly offline. Ezawa's going to be able to pick up the pieces and come through for 3rd position. Carter Thompson was already trying to make his move for 2nd, and that's what Ezawa needs to do here to beat Hakim Danish, try and ensure that he goes into race 2 tomorrow afternoon at least level pegging, so that it really will be a straightforward championship scrap. as we come back in towards turn 1 on lap number 11. Ezawa goes for the outside, all the way around the outside of Carter Thompson, and Carter Thompson will now get the cut back in towards turn 2. We'll have the high ground on the inside, but just about covering the line, it is Shinya Ezawa who holds on.
Yeah, and at the front of the field, Pratama with another personal best of this race, and he's within a few hundredths of a second of the fastest lap of the race. So really impressive performance by him. He's opening up that 3-second lead, but you can see from Ezawa on the number 21 machine, he's just trying to make sure that he's able to hold on to the 20 points per second. We're coming close towards that final third of the race.
We could be looking at a day of home success for Indonesian riders at the Indonesian round, with Veda Pratama having already claimed the pole and looking good for a race victory. Right behind him, Carter Thompson back in front of Ezawa and Danish. Worth mentioning the fight further back down the order, as Rizwanto has now come through for 5th position, still scrapping with Gunmie, and Rizwanto, who's the closest we've really got to a local rider, born on the island of Sulawesi to the northeast of Lombok. 16-year-old Indonesian, managed his first top 10 finish at his home Grand Prix back in March, but in line to pick up his best finish yet if he can hold on ahead of Gunmie in P5. So credit to the Indonesians, they're doing well in their home round in 1st and 5th places here. Ezawa going to the inside of Thompson, recovers 2nd place.
Yeah, you can see for Thompson, though, he's going to have that drive to be able to keep that number 6 out in front. He's had a pretty solid season in Europe as well, a lot of top 10 finishes in the European Talent Cup, so it's been a busy year for him, and one of those riders that's been double duty in Europe and the Asian Talent Cup.
Danish now comes through on Ezawa, and this is crucial in terms of the championship. Fastest lap of the race so far, set by Ezawa on lap number 7, but he's had his hands full with his title rival since then. Catch a flash of Veda Pratama, but he is now 3 seconds clear, so he's out of the race, realistically speaking. This is just for second, been able to break away. 6.6 seconds clear. It's going to be a big winning margin. Dramas, by the looks of it, further down the order, and that will be right towards the back of the field. So that's Putra and Swain, I think, who were scrapping outside of the point, 16th and 17th places. They're going to be our first 2 retirements. It's not been generally a race of attrition in race 1 of this Indonesian round. It is Veda Pratama who leads us back into 2nd place now. Hakim Danish, Ezawa relegated to 4th.
Yeah, Ezawa down into turn 10, that's where he's been able to make that double move on quite a few occasions. He's going to have the run down into 10 to make that once again, but is he going to be brave enough to try and pick off those riders? He knows that for his championship standings, he has to get through on Danish, who's out in front of the sprint.
Elbows out, I'm sure, in towards turn 10, one of the best remaining overtaking opportunities. He tries to slot alongside Carter Thompson, but can't quite get there. Danish remains at the head of this 3-rider group in pursuit of those podium places. Thompson's run wide and onto the green paint. That could be vital in the post-race analysis. Ezawa comes through on Thompson for 3rd position, and now it's a head-to-head between the 2 championship rivals. Hakim Danish, our current series leader, sits up in 2nd place. Shinya Ezawa, 2nd in the standings, desperate to reverse what could be a major point swing here on the final lap. They make their way through the final sector. It's Danish defending the position. Ezawa, though, has the inside line. That's the place to be through these long right-handers, turns 15 and 16. Thompson trying to go the long way round. They're 3 abreast. Danish cuts back to the inside, catches Ezawa by surprise. Ezawa has to stand it up and back out of it. Big moments as he tries to get back on the racing line. The 2 championship rivals touch. Veda Pratama comes over the line to win his home round in Indonesia. Race 1 goes to Veda Pratama, 2nd over the line to Carter Thompson, and the 2 championship rivals cross absolutely level, but it's Hakim Danish who's given it on the timing ahead of Shinya Ezawa, and that will mean, barring any post-race penalties, potentially for Carter Thompson, as things stand at the moment, we're looking at a 6-point margin between Hakim Danish and Shinya Ezawa coming into race 2 tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, you wouldn't be too surprised if there is a penalty for Thompson for running out onto the green paint in the exit of turn 10, and that would only extend the lead for Hakim Danish by another point as well. So certainly for a race winner, though, Pratama, such an impressive performance. It was eventually an 8-second margin that he was able to tame this win by.
And that's why I was talking about a potential major swing between Danish and Ezawa, because if